Hello everyone, and thank you very much for tuning into this demo video on how you can improve procure-to-pay processes by using enterprise automation with SAP. As usual, we start with SAP Signavio Process Insights to evaluate our process landscape and identify scenarios with high automation potential. We can screen end-to-end processes or different lines of businesses, and in our case, we are most interested in the area of sourcing and procurement. By clicking on the sourcing and procurement section, we receive a detailed overview to all our process flows that are running in our organization and drill down to purchase requisition, line item creation. We now understand that 42% of our line items are generated manually, which needs to be improved ASAP because it affects over 3,000 documents in our business unit. By clicking on the Innovation Recommendations tab, we get some ideas how this problem can be solved, and luckily there is a pre-built process template which can be activated directly. We can now navigate to the SAP Build store from our Build lobby, where we find the purchase requisition template that was recommended by SAP Signavio. We give it a name by calling it subprocess, which automatically generates a new project from scratch. If necessary, we can amend and modify our content based on our requirements in the graphical layout designer of SAP Build Process Automation. This process template already includes request forms for purchase requisitions, conditions and business rules, approval steps, and also an action which updates the purchase requisition in our S/4HANA system. But let's find out how we can trigger this process extension from our S/4HANA system. Therefore, we start from the standard purchase requisition application. Via the user settings, we can navigate to our Extensibility Wizard, which allows us to establish side-by-side extensions without leaving our ERP system. We select a custom process as our desired type of extension and define the business event as the trigger. The most valuable thing about the Extensibility Wizard is that it directly retrieves the relevant business content from our standard processes, which allows us to select the right business event. In this case, the purchase requisition item changed event. That means whenever we change a line item in our S4 system, we can proactively trigger our process extension in SAP Build. After giving it a name and checking the details, our extension is being generated and we are again forwarded to the SAP Build system. Back in SAP Build Process Automation, we can use the new generative AI feature to create process artifacts based on a language prompt. In this case, we want to establish a business rule to determine the right approval of this workflow based on the respective purchasing organization. Here you can see how we specify our requirements based on natural language, and the AI feature generates this decision table from scratch. This feature improves the developer experience significantly since it gives me automatic suggestions and creates process artifacts for me within a couple of seconds. And back to our process flow, you can see how we incorporated this decision table, and we have also added an additional action to forward our process content from S4 to the SAP Integration Suite. And since we can natively connect to the SAP Integration Suite anytime we need, we are using it to integrate properly to third-party applications. For this scenario, we integrate to a third-party inventory management system to check if the increased quantity of our line items is even necessary. This iFlow fetches all the relevant data and sends it back to Build for further investigation. In order to complete our scenario, we go back to SAP Build to add the purchase requisition workflow that was recommended by Signavio. Here we can simply add this one as a subprocess of an overarching flow. Within this subprocess that you have seen earlier, we are now adding an additional action to trigger the SAP Integration Suite again after the purchase requisition has been posted to S4. In the library, we simply select all our iFlows that are available in our tenant. We are triggering this iFlow in order to replicate purchase order data in our on-premise ERP system via a SOAP call. And thanks to the advanced entity mappings and all the adapters that are available in the SAP Integration Suite, we can map our OData services to any protocol that we would like, such as RFC, SOAP, iDoc, and many more interfaces that are relevant to us. Once the process has been deployed and has been made available to our users, we can monitor the API traffic thanks to the new API anomaly detection feature that is also available in the SAP Integration Suite. We can detect anomalies such as unforeseen usage or outages and receive intelligent recommendations. With this feature, we can further ensure the operational excellence of our system architectures. The final result of this scenario can now be seen from the point of view of the business approver. The user can access all the workflow items from the unified task center. Here I can see all the tasks I'm responsible for, and I see the approval request for an increase of quantity of my line items. In the task center, we can review all the process details, leave a comment, and also approve.